Hey, Kiss, can you hear me? All right, cool. Give it a second. Let some people show up. How you doing? We got four. Rocking my Shrek cup today, courtesy of the scone. It's always a great day to go to war, especially for these fuckers. That one right there. That's the target. If you can, let me know who it is that joined so I know who I'm talking to, please. Is there audio? I hope so. Did you put your hearing aid on, Otto? Oh, damn. Started this, forgot my notebook. One sec. I'm back. Smash them in here. Figured we'd do a short one. Go over some buffs to debuffs. Kestrel asked a question about rallying. Got general refines, your buff to debuff ratio, the changes when refining a gear, and the monster guide that I use all the damn time. Hello, Twig. The good word today is buffs, according to my shitty handwriting. At least we got to start. We got some in here. That counts. I'll take it. We'll start out with the rallies. Kestrel asked earlier if the rally leaders' buffs are all that apply. And I think so. I mean, I'm gonna say yes because they're the one that set the rally, but your buffs are just as important. I mean, it really comes down to you're wounded. If you get somebody like Otto who's got 1,000% for a range buff, but then you have somebody that comes in at 500 to assist, they're gonna take more wounded than what Otto is. His troops will attack first, but the buff, the debuffs apply for the rally leader. The buffs. Hello, Josh. I'm gonna assume that you are somebody. Um, the buffs to debuffs for the rally leaders are kind of weird. I get certain debuffs when my attack. Well, let's see here. Do I have a rally? I believe we got one. Oh, I got one in my save. Fuck it, I'll just use. That wasn't. That wasn't. That wasn't. Okay, where's that K35 we took from Challenge? There it is. This was a couple months back. We were in, I think, IYI, maybe, because Otto was still keep 29. Um, we were in Challenge. This dude decided he was going to take a battlefield hospital with some mounted siege, some ground, and some range. So a pretty mixed march. Oh, shit. My fault. My fault. As you can see, we took a pretty decent amount of wounded, but not for power. I mean, 16.6 plus 11.9 compared to 121 million. I'd take that any day. I'd take that in server war, take that in battlefield. Smash. What up, Smash? I gotta remember your name's Joshua. I got a neighbor across the street named Joshua, and I can't stand him. But yeah. So with the rally, we got our buffs. At the time, I was keep 31, I think. Scoring was 30, auto was 29, and this dude was K35. And as you can see, his buffs weren't the best for his general. Even though he's defending a hospital, it still wasn't the best. I think we get higher buffs than that now. Um, I led the rally, I think. It was either me or Otto. I'm not putting you in that boat, dude. Just comedic relief, I guess. I can stand you. If I didn't, I would have already rallied you. John, what up, Otto? I'm gonna assume that's Otto. Murad calls him Joe, but if it's John, I'll make sure to note that. Otto, hell, Otto's here. If we set the rally, your buffs are the only ones that apply, or do my debuffs still count for my march specifically? He's the better one at answering that. For now, I'm gonna say that the rally leader's debuffs and buffs apply, but that could change depending on what he says. I know my debuffs at the time weren't what they were now. Would have been a completely different outcome for the wounded. But as you can see, oh damn, sorry. I got too many saved. I need to get rid of some of these. There we go. Goes off the rally leader. All right, cool. So rally leaders, buffs, and debuffs are what the set is. So if you're a keep 29 setting the rally and you don't got the debuffs like a keep 33 would, then let the keep 33 do it. Unless you're one of those scared keep 33s that tries to solo everything. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I'll set a rally on you as soon as battlefield is over. Debuffs, I think, is specific to each person's march, because when we attack, let's see. Yeah, this was us and Lolis. What was that last week in Battlefield? Yeah, see, you were the rally leader, so yours are going to be different, but I know your debuffs are higher than that. So I think the debuffs are specific to the one general. It helps for your march specifically. The rally leader's debuffs help the most for the overall attack. Because like you see my ground buff sucks. 767, it's lower than what my range is, but still getting there. But yeah, that was from Battlefield. So this is a keep 30 with 252 million power, kind of like a off-brand Swallow Star from GNR. And we took a lot of wounded. We took 100 million almost compared to his 230 million. Don't like that at all, but it is what it is. And he healed 10 million troops. Me, Otto, and Scorn, obviously. Um, yeah, look at that. He healed all of his 12s, all of his 11s, all the way back up. He came back with the same amount of power and just as much intensity and still got smoked. But the reason I pulled this one up here, wherever the hell it went, is because just because you're not, your buffs aren't to that level that you think they should be, or you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm underdeveloped." I'm underdeveloped, but that doesn't mean anything. It all depends on your buffs and your troop types compared to what they have in there. This one was kind of shitty because he had mounted, siege, ground, and range. Two sets of T13s and two sets of 12s, which is weird that he had siege in there at T13 and only 492,000 range. He put a million siege in there. Rallies are a pain. But for those of you that are sitting there going, "Oh, we can't do well in Battlefield because we got this Keep 38 that comes in here." It's not that hard to take some of these people down. You just have to know how to coordinate. And everybody's got different opinions. There's some people in our alliance that say, "Hey, we can't rally effectively if not everybody's on Discord." And I'm not calling one person out specifically. I've heard it from more than one. Then there's others that are on this other side of that coin, and they say, "Well, I don't like to use the voice because everybody's talking, it's hard to hear this, that, and the third." You got to learn how everybody plays. If you want to be good at Battlefield, you have to know your alliance, especially as an R4 or R5. You can't hope to set a rally and not be a good leader when doing it. I can learn either way. You can tell me a voice you want to set a rally, we'll set a rally. If you want to, if you tell me, "Hey, this guy needs to get hit," and I see it in the Battlefield chat pop up, I know what I'm doing. Just like Otto, I know how Otto plays. I know how Storm plays. I know how what's that dude's name? Augustine plays. I know how. I wasn't thinking of Augustine, but I was thinking of someone else. I know how Soon plays. Hello, Daniel, 28 or Denial. I hope I didn't fuck that up. I'm sorry. But you just gotta learn your alliance. If you don't know your alliance, you're not gonna set yourself up for much success. Just for an example, let's say what this guy had. He had, you did what? Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, my bad. My bad. So this guy had a lot of ground, some range, some mounted, a lot of ground, a lot of range in that one. Almost a million T11 grounds. And then his layers kind of sucked from there. But he was a lot of ground. So I believe Otto's got the ground for Yufei. He's got the ground mounted march. He doesn't send a whole lot of mounted with it. But with the difference in our keep levels to this guy, we were able to send two archer sieges and a ground cav or a ground siege cav. Yeah, Scorn had the range troops, the siege machines. I had the range troops, siege machines. I don't know what the hell was going on in my march there, but it worked itself out. Look, I don't care. You can laugh at me all you want. It says dehennial. It's like that damn skit, Ron, Jay Quillen. I'm gonna call him dehennial from now on, and y'all can deal. So you take a scout report from somebody. Auto shared a scout report the other day, and I don't care. Ilba can get pissed off if he finds out. So this one's cav heavy. If you're gonna rally this, you don't really shouldn't need to patch keep 30, but If you wanted to rally it, he's got Cavs, Musketeers, Lancers, and Crusaders, and then shitty layers below that. Just send Archer Siege. If you got T12s, you're going to demolish that. Unless it's debuffs are just that massive. So, at least for now, we're going to call it. Oh, if y'all want to. Soon wants to burn Brixie and Sydney. So, we got a busy weekend. So, that's for the rally, the debuff and buffs. I'm just going to leave it as the buffs apply for all for the rally leader. The debuffs apply, at least the way it looks, is specifically for the different marches. Izzy, I do not have time. Thank you. That was the cat, sorry. I can come back and revisit that once Otto and I talk about it. Twigger, you like every idea that has to do with burning this whole side of the map. Just like that right there. You got PHX and Weo, which I'm cool with burning that whole side of the map, but leave these guys alone. Leave Marat alone. Leave 7-7 alone. His name's Igor. And Seraphim. Those three guys I'm not allowed to hit, but she's a saint. Dude, this cat fucking walked up to me the other day when I'm sitting on the couch, minding my business. Just walked up and smacked me upside the head. Don't know why, but I had to be the bitch for the day. They're still over there. They're garbage. They are slowly but surely diminishing. Second part of my notepad, so I didn't forget. The monster guide. I'm going to show you guys, that way you can take it back to your alliance. I'm talking to the RDH people, or you guys here know that I'll share a picture anytime you ask for a monster. But I'm going to turn the camera off right quick for that, and then I'm going to show you right back here. I was minding my business. I was watching Criminal Minds, drinking sweet tea, and fucking playing baseball on the PlayStation at the same time. Not paying any mind to her. Good judging character. Alright, cool. Remind me to set a rally on auto when I'm done here. I hate CDC too, Smash. So this is EvonyTKRguide.com. Let me see if I can move this out a little bit. Control. No, no. See it at the bottom right there, EvonyTKRguide.com. If you need to write it down or screenshot it or whatever, I would suggest doing that. But the purpose of this is to show you guys what I do. So, say you got a person that's building and they're saying, oh, I need to figure out how many calves I need to kill whatever monster. So you come up here and you go to the little search icon, and we'll just say, since it's Golem week, we'll choose Golems. Just type Golem, let it do its refresh, scroll down, so you get the items, tells you what you get for each of the items, the legendary, medium, junior, senior, and epic for the different levels. And then down here, just below that, you got the different types of monsters that they have. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So if, say you're keep 30 and you say, oh, how many calves do I need to zero wound a level 2 golem? You go to this website, type the golem in, find the monster, click it, gives you all the stats for it. It's a medium difficulty monster, 30 stamina to rally. It's a level 2 golem, almighty strength my ass. Scroll down here to the summary. It says a level 2 golem is 22 million power, same shit it said up top, but then to kill it, it tells you right here, for mounted troops, 500,000 T11s with a general of the highest level wearing the best mounted gear that you got. You should have enough to be able to kill it. But the wounded depends on how high your research debuffs and mounted buffs go in. But for a less or zero wounded march, 350,000 T12 calves is the best way to zero wounded. The reason I'm saying that is because if we go back to the game, turn the camera, thank you. If we go back to the game and we see if we can find a level 2 golem in here. By the way, all these little yellow dots are one of y'all's subcities, so just be aware. I'm on the hunt. I need your pants to catch auto. Trying to find a. What the heck? Oh, you worthless motherfucker. Almost got his ass. That was cool. I haven't had that happen yet. I'm sorry. We'll go back to focusing on level 2 golem. I missed. Doesn't happen often, but I missed. So, level 2 golem. If you got, say you're sitting here rallying marches like you see my Alfred's returning, and you got 4 marches and you're like, well, I can never use my 5th march. Now you know how many T12 calves it'll take to kill a level 2 golem. So you'll come here, 350. PHX. Hold was over there. I'll show you in a sec. 350,000. Bam. Set the rally. Now you got, let's find a shitty monster. You got all these T12 calves left over to free up another march. So you might have a Roland, then you say, oh, I need Martinus. And now you got Martinus to rally something else. And you know it's only 350,000. So instead of you killing 1 level 2 with all your calves, you're now killing 2 level 2s with all your calves. Which, if you got a million calves, you can get technically 3 marches, but it's just a way to keep the use of all 5 of your march slots. I miss this guy. No, I'm being serious. Hold was over here attacking this dude, and I tried to smoke his ass. I hope you didn't just mail me and say that I lost. It's not a good idea to be in front of that alliance and talking shit. Your people are literally 1 message away from going to fucking war. Those are all subs, dude. Subcity, 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 CTH, subcity, subcity, subcity. 0 fucks given. I keep a tab on them because they got some power players. Smash them, subcity. I told you smash. Sir Philip, because he's an absolute monster. Well, he moved. Where the hell did you go? Alright, where the hell did he go? 44 billion power. Jesus Christ. Dude is a monster. He can call me slow all he wants. He won't fucking find me outside of a KE though. Hold up, we could use hold to get a good shot in on Fig. Sir Philip got zeroed on all stars? I didn't see the stream. I wanted to. I wanted to try to stay up. It's probably a good idea. Sorry, we got off base. It just pissed me off that I missed that attack. So, yeah, you can use the guide to find monsters. They got everything in here. You can say Bayard. Gotta search it up. Junior Bayard. Click on it. That's server error my ass. Okay. Fine. Ymir. This is the only monster I've found that is not correct. It says it's 24 million in power. That's a lie. It's 42 million. If you want to use ground to kill monsters, if you want to use ground to kill monsters, have fun with healing. No, I'm just kidding. Some monsters you can zero wound with ground, and archers, all the same. This says 500,000 T12 for a Ymir 2 at a 24 million power level, but they're actually 42 million, so the game's a damn liar. But ground monsters are the same, or ground troops are the same. I know that if I don't know what the zero wounded number is for ground or archers. I just know what I can zero wound with archers and ground. So we'll come out here. Level 2 golem. I'll just send a quick on my T12. So magnet hat with 762,000 grounds. Wait on him to finish. Why are mounted better for monsters? Just because the game says so, dude. I mean, I would like to imagine that it's because they move quickly. It's harder to hit, but that's just my over imaginative brain. So we killed the level 2, took 551 wounded. When your wounded start going down, it's either because you've increased the troop numbers or your buffs went up. So if I throw on a 20% attack increase, I'm going to zero wounded. So that means, I guess, 762,000. I don't know how to do math. Divided by, or no, times. Wouldn't it be 0.20? I need 152,000 more T12 ground to zero wound that monster. Oh, higher attack power. Higher attack power makes sense. So, for me throwing on a 20% buff to zero wounded, if I don't want to use the buff, I just train another 152,000 ground. But, like, for instance, a junior Cerberus, I send 511,000 T12 archers at it, I can zero wound it with Alfred. But his buffs are way past what most would be. So it's kind of a test and or a trial and error when you're not using calves and you're just trying to use ground or archers. You just want to send something at it. Don't send like 100,000. You're not gonna do anything. But once you get to like the 450,000 range, send them out, see what they do, see what your wounded are, and then just keep building from there. But I did notice this for those that are keep 29 and above. Go to your research, over to your military advanced tree. You got fearless, increases single mounted troop attack. If you're close to getting wounded or zero wounded, and you're like, oh, I'm only 300 off, focus on this. Because the more your percentage is, the better that you'll come out on the other side as far as wounded goes. So if say you are 200 troops per wounded on a level 2, and you say, oh, well, I can train this up another 3 times. That 3 times, what we'll say 2%, so 6%, that extra 6% may be what you need. So all of your research goes into helping your zero wounded, and that's for ground, archers, and siege. Hell, I seen Otto siege bomb a damn, what was it, a level 2 Ymir yesterday, Otto? I think it was a Ymir. He sent nothing but siege with the Grant to one of the resource monsters, and it surprised the shit out. I didn't say anything, but I saw that. Oh, another thing. Yeah. All siege with Grant. I don't know if he came out zero wounded or not, but he killed it. Because I was in that rally. Another thing with the monsters. If you're solo killing, if it's monster day and you're still trying to grab some resource monsters during server war week, a good thing you want to try to do is not waste too many materials, but you want to come try to get, let's see, General's Gear, I think. Or Dragon. General and Dragon work too. But you get the set attributes. So for the General Ring, if you have two pieces of equipment, General's the best, but if you have two pieces of equipment on a General, for your sub city, if you're solo killing and it's in your sub city gens, give me one sec, Twig. Um, if you're solo killing and you can use your sub cities with it, it's good to have as many debuffs to the monsters as you can. So, say you got a full set or a 4 set on the general's gear. You get the monster's attack minus 5% and whatever troop you're sending plus 15% on that monster. So it kind of helps decrease the wounded or make the monster weaker so you don't take as many wounded. And then, so we'll say for the generals is a 4 set. And then the dragons is a 4 set, which is 10% to monsters attack and defense. So also helps with wounded. But if you're just monster killing and you got an extra set of generals gear lying around, throw on a 4 and you're pretty much gold from there. I don't think there's anything else that gives you. Oh, here you go. So you could do a 2 set. So you could do 4 generals and 2 elite pieces because they're a set. They got the little symbol up top. You could get ground and mounted troop attack and defense on monsters plus 10% on top of that monster attack and troop attack on monsters. So you got the 15% for the troop attack on monsters and the 10% for ground and mounted troop attack on monsters, which will bring you up to another 25%. So if your mounted general's not refined the way he needs to be, and you still need that extra edge to help decrease the wounded, do a 4 set of the generals and a 2 set of the elite. On sub generals, not your main general. Dragon gear for anybody keep 27 and above, I believe. But it's really trial and error. I don't do the general set. That's just for people who want to get that much more into it. I keep my sub cities pretty much PvP oriented. Margaret's, Jackson, Wake King. I'm gonna just call him Big Q because I'm trying out different sub city builds. So that helps. And if you want to, if it's again monster killing day and you still need that extra edge, you can come up here and throw on a troop attack or defense HP. Don't use a march size capacity because that's just way too expensive to sit there and use for a monster. I'm not using a 200% or even a 50 for 1 hour of monster killing because it's 8,000 gems to replace that. Third thing is still back to sub cities and generals. Actually, the third and fourth thing are, and the fifth. General refines, buffs and debuffs, and gem changes to the gear. We'll start with the gem changes to the gear because it pisses me off. So we'll take Magnet Hat, which I don't know how to say his names, but we're just going to call him Magnet Hat. He got his dragon sword. He's got his ground troop attack buffs going. I just got those 2. I'm working on the last 2 for the mounted and ground troop because they're garbage. Don't need them. But just to show you the gap from dragon to Aries. I think I touched on this a little bit last time. So you got your dragon sword, you hit refine. I still need to widen out this damn screen. My fault. Still trying to figure this whole thing out because sometimes it wants to work with me and sometimes it doesn't. So, still the dragon sword, as you can see. We'll hit refine on it. Or, well, actually, don't even have to. Brings you to this screen. Now you got the locks. This is a dragon sword. 1.5 thousand gems just to lock in one. 3,000. 5,000. That's just for dragon gear. Now you come over here to somebody like Alfred, who's got the Aries bow. And I'll show you he's got the Aries bow. Click refine on him. Go to his refines. Still working on ironing his out. It's just the difference sucks. Instead of 1.5, it's 2. Instead of 3, it's 4. And then at the third lock, it's 6,000 gems per refine. So I could refine this once, and then that final range troop attack come back as a fucking 1% ground troop attack, and I've wasted 6,000 gems on a shitty buff. So saving gems is important. Shut up. There we go. And then I don't know what Oct gear is, or Plantagenet gear. Yeah, the bow's a bad bitch. She does what she needs to. I don't get the 6 out of 6 set for march size capacity because in order to get the ring, you have to have 6 generals over 3.5 million power. I'm almost there. But I'm keep 33 now, so Aries is kind of pointless anyway when I can get civilization gear. 8,000 for a 3 lock. So, like Otto said, if you got 3 good refines and you want to lock them up, do it. But it's going to suck. You're going to lose a lot of gems. Which, with the power of a $50 pack, you can save up some gems because I'm a piece of shit and I got tired of waiting for a million. But then I think it's different for the levels too. I could be wrong. Let's see. One of my generals has shitty gear on it. Barbarossa. I ain't used him in forever. He's got just a regular iron bow. Garbage. If I refine it. Oh no, so it is 1.5k for that. So it's 1.5k for the iron too. So everything up to dragon is 1.5. But once you get past dragon and you go into Aries, Oct gear, civilization gear, it's gonna get expensive. 6k for Oct. Thanks for that, Twig. I hit it last week. Been trying to keep pace with Otto. That motherfucker is pushing me. So the refines get expensive, but a little bit of a deeper dive into the refines. It's fine on certain generals to have 2 separate types of refines on it. For instance, Alfred's got range and siege on his bow. But then on his ring, it's all range. Which you can, if you're using Alfred or Simeon or Minamoto or, I don't know, think of another good archer general. Maybe Electra, but I don't like Electra. Yeah, Aries and Oct are the same. Didn't know that, but it's good to know. Each refine you get increases your general's power. So with having a range and siege buff, if I were to put one on the ring, that's fine because it goes with Alfred. But you don't want to. Yeah, Hoarding Gems is good. I think you lying. I know you bought packs. You can bullshit others, but you can't bullshit a bullshitter. And I know the gems you got. Otto knows too. So just throwing that out there. But it's good to have 2 sets of refines that complement each other. For the defense stuff, you kind of want to stay toward range and siege on an Alfred or a range general. Same way with ground and mounted. You want ground troop. Dependent on the general, you get 2 different types, but I'll explain that. So like with Magnet Hat, he's got ground and mounted attack. I can throw those last two refines as a mounted, but I don't want to keep mounted on Magnet Hat, and the reason for that is increases ground troop attack by 30 and ground troop and mounted troop HP. Yeah, definite corner. He ain't bullshitting. I would, you can, I guess, if you want to make Magnet Hat a mounted general, you can put a mounted troop attack book like I've got. I don't focus too heavy on the ground because I'm still trying to figure out a ground march. But if I wanted to change those last two attack refines to mounted, you can do it. And now you got a ground mounted general. He doesn't have his name hidden. Who? Oh, he doesn't have his name hidden in the chat or in the purchase box. Sucker. See, I fucking knew it. I called that. Auto called that too. I didn't lose any money on that bet. So, same with your generals. Same way with the ground and mounted general that you would a ranged siege. You want everything to do with ground troop and mounted troop attack, or defense, or HP. Anything that gives them that extra buff. It's good to have your spiritual beasts on if you don't have a ground dragon, which most of us won't have until Keep 35 and All Stars anyway. But you always want to pay attention to the buffs. There's some people you don't want to send, so like for instance, Electra. I just got her. Increases mounted troop and ranged troop attack by 15, and then increases the ranged troop by another 20% when a dragon's brought, which is cool. But mounted kill ground and range kill mounted. Why you would want both of those in the same type of march, I'm not sure. We going to war? I think Twigger just declared war on our alliance. Yeah, you ain't lying. So back to the refines. Every positive refine increases your general's power in some way, shape, or form. If you say you have the bow, and I had a 16, a 24, and an 18, but this last one was just like 3%. If you can get that up to 16, you could take your power level from 4.4 million to 4.5 million. And it might not seem like much, but every little bit counts. Every refine as close as you can to the maximum. Like, I only have one on the ring. The 18% is the closest to 20%. The other three can probably be changed up to 20%, giving me an extra 30% to my range buff, which would be great. But refines are hard to get. I'm getting bored with Nap too. Nap fucking sucks. Let's go to war. Also, still got our gal spy. He's here every day, same time, same place. For some reason, they can't leave anybody alone. They just got to keep the gal spy in here. Now, there is some times that your buffs aren't going to help. So, like for barb camps, you might need a ground siege or a mounted siege or a ranged siege with a ground backup. It all depends on the troop types, which we'll have to do this, I guess, Friday if I want to have any chance of showing you guys the barbs because they're tricky. She is nice to sell. I'm just keeping her until I need the gold. Don't need the gold right now. So yeah, with the refines, everything needs to be focused toward the main buff. You can have an extra in there, like if you get somebody, I think I got Lee Shimon. Let's see, do I got Lee Shimon? Yeah, I got Lee Shimon. Increase march size by 10% and ranged troop attack by 15. So if you wanted to, you could throw on a ranged troop attack buff, a siege machine attack buff, and a ranged troop range book to his 3 book slots. And that gives you, if you don't have Alfred, Minamoto, or Simeon, it gives you another Archer Siege General that has at least some type of ass behind him, and he's not getting his ass kicked. It's because you're out here soloing barbs. Do it as an alliance. Little tip with the barbs, by the way, don't be soloing or don't be rallying them shits if you don't need it. Solo what you can solo. Yeah, you'll take the wounded or whatever, but it gives everybody else a chance to get as many points as they can. So, like for me, I can solo a 131, but I can't solo the 158, but I need a rally. But if Otto's on, I can say, hey, I found a 131, he'll bust it. I'll get the points, and the next one, I'll bust it, and he can get the points too. So we're kind of mismatching who's doing what. He uses one, I use one. He uses one, I use one, and we're both getting the same amount of points. In a sense, different depending on your march power, but you're still maximizing the amount of points you can get. And do that with every person. If you get 10 chances a day, you got me, Otto, Soon, Kess, Scorn, Smash. That's 6 people. Yeah, 6 people. Make sure I don't fuck up. At 10 chances a piece, that's 60 different attacks throughout the day. You can just rack up points and not spend a single dollar on using them stupid barb tokens to try and be a badass because you got deep pockets and make yourself look cool. Don't laugh at me. Defense generals are the same way. You got Kunosoki, in-city mounted troop by 25 or 20, and in-city range by 35, which is pretty good. But range troop get the best buff with him. Mounted get their ass kicked by ranger. Then you got Johnston, which mine's not the best, but he will be. I needed to stop focusing Alfred for a little bit and I started on Johnston. Anything that has to do with in-city troops. In-city troop attack 20, ground troop defense, in-city ground troop 20, in-city siege 10, in-city range. I think I have the wrong piece of dragon helmet on him, but I'll change it. But range and siege have the 2 best ranges, obviously, and they're the best for defense. They can attack from farther out. You can build them any way you want, except don't put a mounted book on him because he's garbage. Yeah, see, $100 pack summons a barb castle and gives you 45 million points. So you're like, oh yeah, I won this castle from this event and I just spent a shit ton of money. But look at me. And we're like, that's cool. You look like a fucking virgin. I don't know what you want, but I'm not going to tell you congratulations because you look like a virgin who gets no play. That's not my problem. Yeah, and the 6s are garbage too. You can get a 6 at like 59 million power or 1 billion, like those shitty level 5 barbs. What's wrong with what? Because it pisses me off. Don't get me on my tangent, dude. They sit there and they flex like they've actually done something. Like this worthless motherfucker over here. You know what? Auto started this. I don't want to hear it. Garbage. Straight. Garbage. Fucking chapter. Garbage. Straight garbage. Because he is so fucking useless to the server. Random roll sucks too. No, I'm not mad. I'm saying in the difference of those that sit there and can go do it like the right way, the way that they actually get the most out of it as far as for everyone else. And I think that's where people get mistaken. Like you got Gao, right? Stupidest motherfuckers. They sit here and spend a shit ton of money and they get all these points. Yeah, that's cool. That's great. But you're gonna sit here and tell me that you want your whole alliance to grow and you're just buying $100 packs so you can sit your fat ass in your spot and not do what you need to do for the rest of your alliance while they suffer, while they're trying to grow. Get the fuck out of here. If I opened up a level 6, if I spent $100 and got a $100 pack and I got a level 6 and I'm the only one that can take it, like a 1 billion. Well, no, we're never gonna say that because I can't fucking do that in my lifetime or yours. But we'll say a 500 million barb, and I open it, and I know I can take it, but I got the 45 million points of that 500 million barb. I know I can bust it open, and I just choose not to. But I got other people in the alliance that could get in that minimum score. Me choosing not to bust it open and just letting someone else have it is kind of shitty. When I can go bust it open and let everyone else get the points for it. Yeah, I spent the money. I got it. Cool. I got the 45 million points, but y'all could all be earning points for that too. I don't like that. Twigger, I swear to everything that I love, if you get those tokens, I'm going to rally you so fast. And Otto's been looking to hit somebody, so don't give him a reason. I'm not flushing red in the cheeks. It just pisses me off. I try not to focus on it. Just do what we do. Yeah. One thing with the general refines, back on that, well, y'all got me on a tangent because y'all got me irritated. Physical laughter make me physically ill. If you're rolling on your refines, and you're trying to get the highest buffs that you can, don't lock anything in until you're absolutely certain you're right there. I'm breathing. I'm breathing. That's fucking woo-saw, Mike. Woo-saw. So we'll say the iron bow, for instance. Say I've already refined it like 5 times and I get my 2% maximum. Then you would lock that in and you would start spinning again until your next one is as high as possible. And it could be either one of the three, the siege machine, attack sections, or the march speed to monsters. Whatever your next one is to the highest point, lock it in. That way you don't lose it. Don't lock it in on a 10% and you've got a 20%. I did, but that's before I knew what I was doing. Going back and redoing all my stuff now. But yeah, that's the best way to refine. A little bit of comedic me bitching. I do it enough. Not trying to do it anymore. Can I pull up Eddie and select his rank? Yeah, I can, as long as you share it. Are you sharing it to Whisper or AC? Because I can do either. While you're doing that, I'm gonna get me a refill. Like 10 seconds, be right back. Came back with a stout. For those of you that don't know, these O'Hara's Irish Stouts, phenomenal. Very smooth. The cockroaches in that hive. Oh, you're talking about on the general rank. Yeah, I can do that. My bad. I forgot that was even an option. What are you talking about cockroaches in that hive? Wheel or Gal? This is what plant gear looks like. This shit is phenomenal. You get the best debuffs with this. So you can see Otto, he's got just the plant ring, which is nice. Look at them refines, boy. It's okay, 27%. I see you. What is it, 30 or 35 for the max? No, we can't get rid of the little bitty monsters. They keep up the spaces to keep them fuckers out of our hive. That way better than Guinness. It's way smooth. Way smooth. Picked it up last night because the scone had a shitty day, so we got alcohol so she can relax. And I decided to try it. Pretty good. We got this liquor store up here that has Viking mead. Thinking about getting that. So for Otto's plant ring, he's got 35% base range troop buff, mounted troop defense plus 30, which cool, but I don't think Eddie gives a mounted buff. It just reduces mounted attack. Still helps, I guess. Mounted troop HP minus 45%, march size capacity plus 13%. And you can see the set attributes for plant gear. So at two pieces, he gets 15% for all troops attacking percentage. All troops attack percentage. Fuck. 4 out of 6, he gets rally capacity plus 15%, and 6 out of 6, mounted and ranged troop attack and defense another 15%. So in total, he can get, without his refines, he can get another 30% on his archer buff. Now you look at his refines. Otto, is it, what's the maximum for plant? I don't know if it's 30 or 35. $1.5 million gems? 30. So, damn, 1.5 million gems and 500 million gold just for those refines? Fuck that. But you can see he's got him up there almost at 30. So I would take a 27%. I'd even take a 26.8. Would I take a 21? Probably not. But if I'm running low on gems, absolutely. A 23, I'd take that too. His range buff is over 1,000, which is higher than that worthless motherfucker in Wheel that I showed y'all. And just because, like I said earlier about the battlefield, you encounter somebody who's got 900% buff, just 700% buff. If they got anything below 1,000 at keep 35, take them out. Unless you don't have anything that can counter that. Then his specialties are all maxed out. So each of his specialties boosts his range attack even more. So 10, 10, 46. So he gets an extra 46% just from his specialties without the gear. Gotta hoard gems, I'm telling you. Send me your fucking credit card and I'll get right on there. So yeah, it's good to get to see what you can do. I mean, for the civilization gear, each thing is different. You got plant gear, the gentleman's or the freedom set, the Han Dynasty set. You can go up here to your civilization spot and see what each of them give you. I think the choreo is out now, which they're nice. But if you ever wonder what you and you all you got to do is be keep 33. You don't have to have wonder. You don't have to have conqueror. You don't have to have a certain fame ranking. As soon as you hit forge level 33 at keep 33, you can start getting the civilization gear. Until then, you can't. But I would suggest right now start hoarding materials. You like me, but not that much. Dude, I sell feet pictures. If you want to send me your credit card, I'll send you a picture of my feet. Both foots, actually. Does it require wonder? I have no idea. We can switch. Hold on. Hold on. We're going to switch over to EXO Plus. EXO Plus will tell me. Yeah, thanks for that. That's cool. That's cool. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Just says keep to. Please upgrade keep to 33. I don't know. If it does require wonder, then that's kind of shitty. I wouldn't think it would, because anybody can get plant gear. Not everybody's gonna get wonder. It doesn't what require wonder? Oh yeah, so PC's got them. So yeah, as soon as you hit keep 33, you can get or plant gear or civilization gear. I would recommend you save materials like hell. I don't have the chest piece for the Plantagenet gear. I got everything but the chest piece. Yeah, his Tamiris. But it's 50 red. Yeah, goodbye gems and gold for sure for the refining. But then materials as well. You need 50 red crystals, bones, leather, and feathers at the red level. And when you get to keep anything above keep 30, once you start, or especially when you get wonder. Hold on, let me redo this thing. And that's close enough. Especially when you get wonder, things just become stupid. Because you got these guys. Oh, well, I'm not even on EXO main. Let me switch back to EXO main. Yeah, Arc isn't always better than Aries, dude. For an example, um, we'll look at some Arc gear right quick before I tell you all about the materials. We'll look at the bow. 30% for the range troop attack, minus 20 to the enemy siege machine attack, in city range troop defense plus 30. So that's cool. I think I'm getting 45%, which, I've got him at the 5-star, but I'm getting better than the Odd gear. The marching range troop attack plus another 22%, still rocking that out, which the second piece of Odd gear was, or the second refine, in city range troop defense and siege machine attack minus 20, and the 15 for the range troop defense. So you're giving up an extra set of attack for the range for an in city troop defense. Yeah, see, 67% on March. So that's why I'm saying you got to pay attention to what you're wanting to do with the materials that you got, because in city troop defense for range, cool. But if I'm attacking somebody with Alfred, I'm going Aries all the way, at least until I get the plant bow. The March speed is really pointless. Everybody uses March speed ups anyway, so nobody cares. You know what? I don't want to do it, but if I get rid of that siege machine attack and put another, if I get a 20% or above on those bottom two, I'll have like 920% to the range, which would be pretty cool. Plant bow's better, but I mean, just look. Hell, choreo gear. You need 100. You can't fucking see it. I gotta figure out another way to do this. Look at that. For the new gear, the choreo gear, the ones that are out right now for buying packs and probably will be in the next Wheel of Fortune, 100 of each thing. I don't know how y'all are with bronze and iron, but they are the shittiest spawn rate for me. Or drop rate, I'm sorry. But you can see I got a whole lot of red wood paws. But yeah, 100 just for the bow. And yeah, you get the enemy range troop defense minus 20, in-city range troop attack plus 25, the in-city siege machine attack plus 30. That'd be a badass bow for Johnston now that I think about it. Because that's just nothing but defense right there. But once you hit civilization gear, you're just giving up a shit ton of materials. Let's look at Han Dynasty. 100. 100 for furrin. I don't know how to fucking say that word, but you get what I'm talking about. 100. So plant gears currently Oh, 100. Damn. For the bow. So it's all 100 across the way. Then 50, 50, 50. But that's for each piece, you need 50 until you get the bow, which is 100. All weapons 100. I see that now. My bad, Auto. You can make fun of me for that later. Or now. But either way, you have to just save materials. And when you keep 30, you get the Fafnir, and you'll have the Celtic. Then you get Wonder, and you get your Norway Ridge Dragon that eats nothing but a shit ton of materials. You'll get Thebes for Wonder 2 when you get on the throne for 2 weeks, which he ain't eating a whole lot, but I think it's the higher your level of dragon, the more materials he eats. So you're sitting here trying to save up for, you know, a Plantagenet bow, but then you have to drop 10 per day on the Norway Ridge. So you got to start making sacrifices. You either want to finish this or you want to work towards your civilization gear. Why choose when both is an option? Why choose what? Between the dragons or the gear? See what I'm telling you, by the way, Otto? What was it? I'm on EXO main, but it shows me EXO Plus's battle reports. I don't understand why. But yeah, the gear sucks. Gear's always way more important than the dragon. The dragon's just a buffer. Yeah, it is. Did I get everything that he does? Defense is lost. Defense is lost again. Apparently, Kestrel attacked EXO Plus with one troop, and I still lost. Hold the fuck up. Oh, okay, I see. RDH attacked us. I take that as an act of war. But yeah, for now, that's pretty much it. Still trying to think of different things to explore. Not everybody's got Wonder. Not everybody's got Keep 30. Not everybody's got Aries. We probably got a shit ton of badges, but no Aries. Yeah, if you want to go hold their temple for fucking 7 hours. um, let's see. I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, hit the military advance tree again. March size is important. Prestige for the bigger march size always. I just got my rally spot to 33 last night, so able to do over 1,000,000 troops per march. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. My bad. My bad. Sorry. We still going to war though, but I'm sorry. March size is hella important. And then maxing these out. Anything keep 30, 29 and above, max them out. I'm working on maxing all of mine out to get them to what I need for keep 33. But for now, all I've got maxed is my ground troop HP and defense, and then my accuracy. Accuracy helps with your range buff too. Can you hit on Monarch VIP leveling up quick? It's taking me forever. You and me both, dude. You and me both. I just hit 16. I didn't even fucking know that. I just hit 16. VIP points, you can buy them from the black market, or do you have time to discuss how to select buffs and debuffs for general and March type? Dragon Talon. Okay, so I'm getting hit with some now. That's cool. Let me get past the VIP. Trigger, if you ain't buying them from the black market or I mean, maybe. I don't know if they drop in the Battlefield shop, but maybe. There's pretty much just logging in every day. So it says I logged in 50 days in a row. That's the maximum amount of days. I'm earning 650 points per day. You can continuously log in every day. If you miss one day, if you do not collect your VIP free daily shit one time, it will reset and you go back to earning, I think it's 50 points per day until you get the consecutive days built back up. Oh, but that's what I could also hit on. Your VIP level is important. If you use all your VIP times, they stack. So I didn't know this until like a month ago. But I have 395 days of my VIP active. So that means for the next 395 days, I get the gold levy time capacity, better resource production, march size capacity, stamina recovery, march speed to monsters. Packs help for VIP too. He right about that. Uh, this is where it's really cool. You can scroll left or right to see what you get at the different VIP levels. So like down here at the bottom for 14, you get healing speed, training speed, march speed, double item drop rate. That's cool. 15, you get an all troops defense buff for all your troops in city or attacking, plus 15%. 16, all troop defense and HP, 20 and 15. And troop death into soul troop rate in the main city is 15%, which is your little soul crystals you can use in the Holy Palace. 17, all troops attack plus 15. All troop HP 20. All troop defense plus 25. A free builder. So if you have VIP 17 active and you want to hit two things, you get your third builder for free. You don't have to spend gems on them anymore. And it just goes up for each VIP level. Just for instance, we'll look at VIP 23. A 70% buff to defense, HP, and attack for all troops. In city, all troops attacking 70%. So if you're sitting at 1130% and you say, damn, I could really go with a 1200% buff. Oh, damn, look, I hit VIP 17. Activate it, bam, 1200%. Yeah, requirements double. So logging in consecutive, even if you don't log in, if you're one of those people that gets hit in KE, and I'm gonna just call y'all out. I ain't gonna call you out by name, but you'll know if you watch this and there's one person specifically that I've seen do it. If you complain about getting hit in KE and not being able to grow, not being able to this, and you miss one day because you can't bubble, you can't this, you're just damaging yourself. I can literally walk from right here upstairs, go into my bathroom, take care of business, and while I'm doing that, I can log in real quick, select my daily reward, get my VIP points, get done doing what I'm doing, get the fuck out, and go back to doing what I was doing before then. And bam, I don't lose any of my points. It does not take long to put a bubble on. It does not take long to accept your daily gift. And I don't want to hear different. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, see 640. So you're almost there. 10 more VIP points and you'll be earning the maximum. You can't go higher than 650 VIP points a day, I don't think, because I've been logging in every day for the last fucking year almost, and I'm only earning 650 per day. See, Twicker gets it. Exactly my point. I see it all the time, especially that worthless motherfucker from PHX. Y'all keep hitting me, but I don't have time to bubble. You telling me you don't go to the bathroom? You don't take a fucking 10-minute break at work? You can't? Good. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Dragon talents. How high do they go? Otto's the only one that I know of that's maxed the dragon talent out. I can as well. I can keep going. I've got some more. Let me drop the menu again. I'll show you. I've got some more talents that I can get. I got to get the Lava King 2 for the ranged troop attack. 40. So, see, I'm halfway there. Which, once I get that maxed out and then the Lava King maxed out, be doing some mad damage. Oh, okay. I thought the 40 was for something else. My bad, Auto. To select buffs and debuffs. You can still do that while reading. You can literally take, I don't know, think of a book, think of a book. Harry Potter. And Harry said, I will kick your ass, Voldemort. Place your bookmark, pick up your phone, one bubble, good to go. And Voldemort said, bring it, you little bitch. And you can keep on going. Don't want to hear that you don't get the time. Get the time for everything else. So 40 for the buffs to debuffs ratio. I mean, 40 for the dragon talents. I'm sorry, I was reading and trying to speak at the same time. Do I have time to discuss how to select buffs and debuffs for general and March type? The scone reads, but she doesn't get on Evony either. I have to run her account while she's not on. What exactly are you talking about, Otto? Discuss to select the buffs and debuffs for general and March type. You talking about for the difference in the subsidies to your March that you're sending, or for like your research? Just in case he logged off. I stay off of world chat. Buffs and debuffs need to be picked for the type of march you're sending, and it affects the battle of enemy troops. Oh, okay. See, I thought you had logged off. Buffs and debuffs to the march that you're sending. If you scout somebody and they have a bunch of range, so you get one of those weird keeps that has more range than they do mounted or um, even ground for that matter. No, you don't. You don't have to read the BS on World Chat. You want to know how I know that? This is World Chat. This is you right here, saying that it's not fair. All you got to do is, bam, no more World Chat. Look at that. That's called the disappearing World Chat trick. If you are attacking somebody who has a shit ton of range, and you know that your best march is an archer siege march, but you have to send the ground to take those archers down. It would help for you to change your generals out. So in your subsidies, this is where the debuffs are. So you got like Baldwin. Baldwin does. Did I pass him already? I may have passed him already. No, I did not. Baldwin. Enemy range troop attack minus 30. And enemy siege machine attack minus 20. So if you're attacking someone who's got a lot of range and a lot of siege, Baldwin or I think Arminius, enemy range troop and siege machine attack by 15 or minus 15. So if you've got, for instance, two Baldwins and two Arminius and I think Amir, reduce enemy range troop and siege machine attack by 15. You can send a ground march and you got 6 subsidy slots, 2 Baldwins, 2 Arminius, 2 Amirs. You're reducing the enemy range and siege attack, which makes it easier to kill those range troops with your ground march. Or you could get one of those people who has a shit ton of ground troops, and you know you're sending an archer siege, and you don't have a developed ground march or a developed cav march, you can get somebody like Wei Quinn, Big Q, the Big Q. That's what I said I was gonna call him, Big Q. Your feelings meant something, or your feelings mean something too. Go to your safe place, Twigger. I agree with Otto. You know where it is? I'll show you here in a second. But if you're attacking somebody who's got a shit ton of ground and you know that you only are able to send an archer siege, Big Q is the way to go. Wei Queen, Wei King, what Queen? I don't care what you call him. You can call him idle. I don't care. Reduce enemy ground troop and mounted troop attack by 15 and increase mounted troop and ranged troop attack by 15. You can get him in the tavern. He's 30 something million gold, I think, maybe 42. But Wei King. See, there you go. Thank you for putting it in English, even though that is technically English. If you got 6 of him and you decide to spend the gold for him, and you're attacking somebody who's got a shit ton of ground troops, he's the best way. At least that I've found for free sub-city generals that you don't get through packs or lucky drops in the tavern or whatever. Because if you get 6 of him, you can do 6 times 15, that's 90%. And I think it's 90. And you're just rocking out a 90% debuff to the people that you're attacking who have a bunch of ground troops. So when you're attacking with your archer siege, they're a lot less strong as far as the attack goes. Or an attack and defense reduction from enemy ground troops. Those help as well. And you can change it dependent on what you need. So if you're in server war and you see somebody who's coming over all the time, and you're a primary archer siege guy with a decent backup for ground, you can say, okay, this guy has a lot of ranged troops, and I know he's attacking with an archer siege march because he's sending his Celtic dragon with the marches that he's sending out to attack in PvP. Celtic dragon's a ranged dragon. You can assume if he knows what he's doing, it's a range march. And yeah, it sounds like 90. It does, because 15 times 2 times 3, whatever. You can change them out depending on what you want. And it's all, you got to pay attention to who it is. So like Mr. Black from last server war, dude couldn't stay on his side of the server. He was weak as shit, no buffs, whatever. If you were Keep 29 and you had your debuffs maxed out and you had 6 Wei Kings and you know that Mr. Black had a shit ton of ground troops in there, throw in your 6 Wei Kings. Yeah, your Wei Kings might die. You might lose a couple of them. But if his ground troop buff is 700, we'll say 600%, and yours for range is 500%. You throw in 6 Wei Kings in there, and you took him down 90%. So now he's 510 to your 500. You stand a little bit better chance. See what I'm saying? You want to debuff the enemy. And you can only debuff the enemy 50% of their maximum, right, Otto? How did I know you were whining on world chat if I never read it? I literally said, here's an example, and went to world chat. It took 2 swipes. For your debuffs and buffs, you can only debuff 50% of the maximum. So, if of their maximum, I believe. So if they've got 800% and you're debuffing half of that, you debuff 400. But then Kestrel, if you don't rally Twigger, I'm going to kill him. 50% of buff. All right, cool. So you can only debuff them to 50%. So if their maximum buff is 400, you can only debuff up to 200% from them. If theirs is 600, it's 300. If it's 1,000, it's 500. If you're debuffing 500, just stay under your bubble because I want nothing to do with you anyway. So your subsidy, it's always good to have a mixed match of subsidy generals. You can do a couple way kings or 6-way kings if you want, or Jackson, reduce enemy range troop attack by 20 and mounted troop HP by 20 when he's a subsidy gen. Take a look at another subsidy general, Vladimir the Great, reduce enemy troop attack by 10 and increase your range troop by 20. So if say you got 6 Vlads, scouting shows their debuff. If you got 6 Vlads, I don't care if he's bigger than you, I send backup. If you got 6 subsidy slots or 7, we'll say 7 because I got 7, and you got 7 Vlads, you get 70% to all troop attack. So you can bring them down from 400% or 500% to 330 or 430. Whatever half of their maximum is the maximum you're going to be able to get to anyway. But you're automatically getting 10% for all attack, or all troops attack. So you're taking every single buff they got down 10% for just one. Oct gear, plant gear, Aries gear, if you have the badges and resources for that. It doesn't show all, no, but you'll see their base level debuff. Like if you scout me after I attack you, if I attack you, you'll see my debuff for range troop attack is 200%. So if your maximum buff is 500%, I'm bringing you down to 300. But when you scout me, if you scout me, you'll only see the debuff that I think my research says. One thing people constantly get confused with is thinking they can just throw a subsidy in there at keep 33 and be cool for those that don't have the experience. But if you throw Oct gear or plant gear, choreo gear, any civilization gear on there that does debuff, that debuff stacks on top of itself. So always good to have that gear in there because you can take your debuff in base from 200, throw on a full set of civilization gear to your subsidy general, and now you're debuffing them another 100. So now it's 300%. And it's the same with the stack on your attacking general. So we'll use autos because his is better. I thought the Aries debuff, there it goes. The Aries chest gives negative 30% to range troop attack and siege machine attack. If auto were to throw a full set of Oct gear on 2 different subsidy generals that debuffs range troop and siege machine, it could have taken him from 200 to now he's debuffing you for 400%. Which if your maximum buff's 800, you're now down to 400% for that attack or defense. Like, let's see. Otto's got the March Tower for... Oh, did I scout anybody? No, I didn't. Fuck. Otto's got the debuff for Coco, which is a keep 30, so it should have some type of debuff in there. Yeah. So Coco's doing enemy ground, range, mounted, and siege at 26, 26, 50, or 35 and 15. That's just with the keep research. What you don't see is the subsidies he's got behind it, or the attacking buff or debuff of him. Because like right now, ground troop 554 for the defense and 21% for the attack. That might be what it is in base, but I think, does he have a general on? Oh no, Tran. So you're seeing the buffs with Tran, but it could be a lot different in his attack march. Can you hit? Making sure I didn't forget anything. Each dragon's got talents, but Otto was telling me something about Norway Ridge the other day. Oh, you fake. Hell yeah. Yufei does the Ox Sword at negative 40% for enemy ground troop attack, and enemy ground mounted troop defense minus 35%. With a full set of Aries, or no, almost. He's got the legs, but everything applies. Dragon there. Oh yeah, Norway Ridge for the mounted troop debuff, because he gives at level 8 negative 25% to ground troop and mounted troop HP. I don't know what a 10 is, but it's probably higher. Some of the talents you don't want to max out. I think Otto said that one of these. What was it about the Norway Ridge, Otto, that you said don't max it out? $30. And then 100% general survival, which means your general will never die. Still confused. You said don't max out the Norway Ridge. Oh, leave the third option alone. Domain of Ice. I don't even know if it'll show me what that is without having him level 10. Yeah, no. I need him level 10 to see it. But Otto said don't max that one out. Or don't even start on that one, because it does something to your march, I think, and it reduces your own ability. Trying to think. There's tons of things you can do for your buffs, by the way. Some of the events that we get through here. I think it's the Barbarians. Maybe the Barbarian pack. No, might not be Barbarians. There's some event that we did that you can spend $10 on and get an extra buff for the next 24 hours. Yeah, 9% attack and 6% defense loss. So you're giving it up for that talent. Oh, also another thing to help, just throw in an extra part of your buff. Offering. Offering sucks, but if you gather on relics, or I think you can buy some from the black market, you can add another 10% to your ranged troop attack and 10% to your mounted troop defense for offering for 20 times, as well as a double resource production, which I need to do that. Ymir, that's what it is. The Ymir, that gives you an extra attack buff, I think, too. But there's plenty of options to get that extra buff. I mean, you got your keeps, too. If you want to spend the money, this is where I would recommend you spend it, because you can buy some keeps. Like Yo-Chan's keep that he just got. He gets Siege Machine and Ranged Troop Attack plus 15%, and then Siege Machine and Ranged Troop HP plus 30 with the enemy HP minus 5. So he gets an extra debuff and buff using that keep. Same with treasures. The civilization treasures. Just owning them gets you the in-city. This one gets you in-city troop attack, defense, and HP, and then enemy siege machine attack negative. Use it to activate 3% healing speed. Or owning this one gets you the attacking siege and range troop defense plus 6, the mounted troop and ground defense plus 6, march size and enemy ground troop. So these are important too. You can dismantle these if you want to get some resources, but it's good to save them. I'm going after this one because Soon uses it. All troops load plus 12, attacking mounted troop and ground troop attack plus 4, siege and range plus 3. Yeah, that's because I had over 100 and I dismantled them all because I needed the resources. So that's my bad. Yeah, there's 3 tiers of each treasure. They start out at 300. So, but owning it gets you the gathering at a level 5 or above resource spot, gains you a chance to get a pansy egg. And then gathering speed plus 4%. The pansy eggs are phenomenal. If you send your 5 gatherers out, there's a chance you could bring one back. I think it gives you 10 million boxes of each resource, and I think large material. Oh, give me one sec. The stone called me. Sorry about that. The stone called me. So, she's at work. She just called me to. We were gonna do pizza tonight for dinner, but she said she gets off work early, so we can go out to dinner tonight, which will be fun. So yeah, each of your civilization treasures, just owning it buffs you in another way too. Why is this not sharing the screen? Oh, come on, don't do me like that. There it goes. The sword one gives you attacking troop attack on monsters, defense on monsters, HP, and enemy range troop attack. So there's plenty of ways for you to stack your buffs on top of each other. I think that's it for the buffs and debuffs options. I don't know any others that can give you the buff outside of research. Am I missing anything for that? Oh, and like I said last time, subsidy buffs only apply to the subsidies. No, sir. What, did I have it wrong? Well, yeah, the city buffs, obviously, the 20% and whatnot that I said earlier, but and the ones for Yo-Chan, like those type of keeps. The King's Protection is after you get the offer. Um, oh, server war, I guess, for anybody thinking about going into server war. If you got sources of life, which are these pretty little blue things right here, it's best for you if you want to save your resources. Oh, no worries, Kiss. I was just thinking that I missed something and I'm sitting here trying to go through everything. Fill your hospital up. Find out what your hospital capacity is. Mine's 1.47 million or 1.047 million. Just let somebody come hit a bunch of T1s during purge. What that does is it keeps your healing costs relatively low compared to what you would if you fall asleep in server war and get smoked on the other server. I'm not gonna say who it was, but I know that you know. Just messing with you. But so you can keep it relatively low. A million T1s is like 8 days worth of healing speed ups, and what that does is it lets you get your dead option or your heal option from your hospital. Yeah, it increases at the start of server war. So if you have a good research that increases it at server war and you still got T1s left over, fill it up. And what that helps you do is you're only spending resources once, depending on the amount of troops you're bringing back to activate it, and then you're using sources of life from that point on, instead of using 40 or 50 million resources per attack to bring your troops back and having to use speed ups and all that. You just use sources of life, no speed ups necessary. You're saving a ton or resources and speeds. Another thing, if you're a good enough player and you've got 2 different march selects, or you got your VIP active and you got 5 different things, or you know for sure that you got 2 PvP marches, use your presets in server war. Proceed with caution. Use your presets. Don't. Yeah, less resources and 1/3 a K30 building. See, she gets it. Let me fill this up right quick because I increased my march size. Need to train more T13s, but I'm trying to get my shit caught up and get the resources. So, say your first march is an Archer Siege, your second one's a Ground Cav. Save the preset, even though I don't have a good ground march. Those 2 are going to be the ones that you're going to ghost first under your protection of your red bubble. And then your final 3, you can just ghost regular marches. Little tip for those that weren't able to make it or didn't understand what I was trying to tell them in Alliance chat or whatever. If you're rallying something, 60-minute rallies, that's a ghost instead of 60-minute rally. If you're one of those people that keeps your monsters bookmarked and you're having to go through your bookmark every single time to find that monster to ghost, you're gonna waste way more time trying to ghost. Instead, we'll just use mine for example. You get the monster, you rally it, set a 60-minute, throw your march, bam, come back through, throw your march, bam, come back through, go back, bam. Just back and forth. Tap in this part where it says rally. If you're facing your keep, tap it once to go to the monster, tap it twice to come back to your keep. Or if you're on the monster, tap it once to go to your keep and once to come back to the monster. It saves all this extra shit to try and find it. And that could give you the 5 seconds or 3 seconds that you need to avoid getting hit. See a lot of people that'll sit there and go through their entire bookmark list to find a monster. Bookmark it once, use it to ghost on one time, and from there, don't go touch your bookmarks again. Just click your rally option twice and get it going. Helps for quicker movement too. Yeah, put it on the top of your marks before you hop or safe port home. And yeah, so you don't have to look, which that's what I do. Back when I could ghost, I would, before I went over to the enemy server, I would look and I'd say, all right, I want to keep my stamina cost low, so I'm using a bad monster. I would save them. Then I'd say, okay, I need to port. Where am I porting to? Well, I know there's a hit somewhere in this area, so I'm going to port here. Find my monster. Ghost. Well, I don't got stamina, but ghost. 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 Now you got a 5-minute bubble, but you want to be as quick with this as you can. Bam. Got all 5 of my marches ghosted. If you get quick enough, you can do it in 10 seconds. That way, all you got to do is say, oh, okay, I want to attack this golem. We'll say that this golem is a keep. Bam. Come down. Send the attack, which I'm only going to use my cabs, or my marksman. Oh, fuck. Who do I got? Because Alfred's ghosting. But this is just an example, so I don't care. Say, okay, cool, I'm using my marksman. Bam. Still got 4 marches ghosted. Now, what I like doing is if I know that my march is coming back, if I got to speed it or if I don't have to speed it. You can speed it. You know your march is coming through. You can already have this popped up because you can see your march is returning. Bam. Return. Ghost it. EXO is not zeroed. If they're good at timing, they can get you. Or we'll, okay, fine. We'll say fucking this one, right? Find another one. Using speed ups for this, but I don't care. Send your march out. Let your march do its thing. It's all about timing too. If you want to fuck with the enemy server, you can send a fast march one way. They might expect you to fast march back. Let your shit do its work. Now it's coming back, and you're going, all right, I got 43 seconds. I know that they're slow, so the enemy's waiting and waiting and waiting. You give your march some time to get on its way back. After a while, they're going to stop paying attention to you because they don't know what you're doing. Or they're going to wait and they're going to look away and you'll catch them when they make a mistake. So bam. Use your speed ups. Bam. Come on. Fucking update. There we go. Hopefully your connection's better than mine. Yeah, purple speed screw up their timing. It's a good way to avoid getting hit. Saving yourself having to use up those resources. Don't heal on the enemy server. If you attack someone, you drop your red bubble. Don't pull a West Texas and heal on the enemy server because they're going to see your power go, oh, okay, he's at 200. Oh, now he's at 300, and they're going to launch another attack, and you're going to be just as fucked, and you're going to go back and complain that you made a mistake when you could have not made that mistake anyway. Then you port home, bubble up, then you can heal. That's why I said 2 PvP marches. That way you have another set to go out there. If you're below keep 30, you don't need 2 PvP marches. Your resource consumption to troop revival does not, it's not going to be that great. Anything above keep 30, I would have 2 PvP marches, especially if you got somebody who's got a lot of cav and then turns around with a lot of range. You can send a range siege march to take care of some of that range and get the calves. Then you can send a ground cav march on the back end to clean the rest of it up. Yeah, don't put stam maxed out all the time. I just do because I know if I'm gonna rally that day, I'll spend 10. Give me 1,000 stamina. That should get me through the first little bit of the day. What's the disadvantage? Yeah, SVS lag sucks. Yeah, if you know you're going to be over on the enemy server, you got an hour for your ghosts. Your stamina won't regenerate if you're below or if you're above 100. But you got an hour. You can sit there and use that hour to let your stamina rebuild back up. So when your ghosts are coming back, instead of having to go, okay, I need, what, we'll say 5 times 15 is 75. So if you're at 70 stamina after an hour, depending on your stamina regeneration speed, instead of having to use a bunch of these, you can use a 10. Save yourself the stamina cost. Don't port close to an enemy either. If you're going to kill somebody and you're going to hit somebody, don't port right up on their hive. Especially if they're like ours. Don't port right here. You're literally, like, if you're going to attack auto, don't port right behind auto. Because every one of us is going to see that. And you've literally decreased a shit ton of march time for us to get to you. Instead, I would probably port maybe a good 100, 150 kilometers away, port somewhere up here. That way you can launch an attack, say, okay, bam, I got auto, now my march is coming back. And you can try and speed one in and speed one back before anybody realizes where you're at. They can check the battle logs, but it keeps the heat off of you. Medium surge. Do you mind if I do? 700 and what, stamina? Yeah, I do about 5. Do 500 stamina at a time. Another good trick is, I know I've talked about this a little bit. I think I talked about it before on the stream, but I don't know if I talked about it, or in AC, but I don't know if I talked about it in the stream. The block trick. The block trick is phenomenal. We use PHX because they seem to be the best example. If I see Freight Train in our server and I see Freight Train hit RDH, they share it to World Chat. I click on it. I see Freight Train in the middle of their hive. I missed his march because by the time I clicked and found where he was, his march was already back. But what you can do is you can come in here, you can block him. And what I like to do, this is just personal, is I keep this screen up. And what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for Freight Train to port up out. So he ports, and it's instead of me having to sit here and go, okay, I'm looking at Freight Train, click, 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 click. Instead of me having to do that, I've already eliminated one of the steps. I got this open. I'm literally just waiting. If you have an alt like I do, I can pick up this phone, watch him from my alt, and I can rest on this screen. And as soon as I see him port on my alt on the other phone, I'm confirming to locate and I'm sending a speed march because he's landed. If I just saw him port and I just located him, I know for a fact he might ghost 1. He may even get 2, but he's not getting the rest of his marches ghosted by the time I hit him. So I'm hitting something. See, like Kes said, if you don't have an alt, it's a little bit harder. You got to go through all the steps, but it's good, and especially in server war. Find that one person that's staying in our server, and sorry, keep your blacklist relatively low. Because if you got Freight Train and 10 others, you're having to scroll through everybody to find the person. You can say, "Oh, Freight Train's up here this time," but then you come back and you got 6 people blocked, and now he's at the bottom of the list. Keep your block list. I don't care if you don't like Phaedra. None of us do. But keep your blacklist short because you want to be able to locate quickly. And it's the same with if they're out here in the random fucking part of the map and you see them out here. Blacklist them. Keep this screen up. And you can try and get your muscle memory to where you can tap it quickly. Or you can fuck up and do that. But it's all finger memory. You have an alt. I remember you making one when we were in WEO. I'm balding. Check it out. But that's just a good way to quick locate. Also, if you didn't know how to tell if anyone's in our server because you haven't been in server war before or haven't paid attention, you can find out who's in your server by clicking your server tab, go to the ranking of enemy server, and then alliance power ranking. And click on each of these individually, and anybody who's got a gold sword on the left side of their emblem. So like if you use Big Jin, it will be right there where that left side star is. You'll see a little pair of swords. It might be on the right side. I might not be able to remember, but there's a pair of golden swords there, and that tells you that they're on our side. And same with us. You can click on somebody that is in your alliance that's in the enemy server. It'll have a pair of swords right next to them. So you can click on them and go, oh, nobody's found this guy yet, so let me locate him. Haven't seen him shared in world chat. So, okay, I see him. Nobody's found this person on the server, and if they hadn't said anything. Why don't I go ahead and, well, I can't do it because they're on another server, but why don't I go ahead and blacklist them? That way, you're watching to see what they do. You've already found them. You can see if they send a march out, if they got one coming back, if they port, what their power level is. And most of the time when people come in for a quick hit like they do on the last server, they're coming in for a quick hit. They're going to sit right here. If they're trying to hit freight train, they're going to sit right here. It's the closest. They don't have to march speed. Maybe one to speed up the attack, but that's it. So they're going to sit right there. You can click on them really quick. Look at the detail screen, and you can say, okay, I know my march power is 100 million, and this person's got 150 million. And at keep 30, they're using 40 million power maximum per march. So that brings 150 down to 100 million. I just seen them pouring in. They're launching their attack. I know they didn't ghost. So I'm going to hit them. So there's all types of things you can do. Like when Kestrel and Holly were trying to hit someone that ported over to RDH, is a keep 34. I was able to detail him, see what his power level was. I know what my march can take. I know what he's going to send in his march. And as quick as he poured it in and attacked, I knew he hadn't ghosted. And if he was going to start, it was already too late. Because I found him, I know what he's doing. And I'm coming for that ass. Smash. I'm going to block you. And don't be afraid to do the inter alliance cooperation. Defiant has baited for me. I forget, Pack of Ramen baited for Kestrel and Holly when that 34 came in, I think it was, that I ended up taking because that's a lot for a keep 30 to take. But don't be afraid to reach out and say, oh, okay, I see thousands on. We'll say thousands. Thousands to keep 25 with 35 million power. You know he's got troops. Thousands can ghost. Hey, you're welcome, Kes. Have a good day. Pick thousands and then say, hey, send him a message. Can you bait for me? Nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're trying to make up negative points. Or if we're losing in the server war and you want to gain some points for your alliance. Ask him to bait. He'll drop his bubble. He'll ghost. Thousands knows what he's doing. If he doesn't, he'll ask one of us. And you just kind of watch. You know his bubble's dropped. Now it's just a waiting game. You've set the line. You've set the bait. You're just waiting on somebody to take it. Now, don't ask Otto to bait for you in your keep 30. Don't ask me to bait for you in your keep 30. That's not going to go out well. Especially if you got 100 million power and you got someone like Otto who's close to 500 million. Nobody but a keep 35 is coming for him and you're asking for too much. But just a couple of tips and tricks for server 1. Trying to think. I think your alliance science buffs, the research and stuff like that, they go for your overall buffs. So if you're at 880 or 892%, and you're almost to that 8% for the range troop attack to bring you to 900, those count towards your buffs. I believe I missed that. But there's the other things you can do. You can port swap. You can, I do like good football teams. #1 in the league, baby. At least to me. Pick your battles. Don't try and be a hero and say, oh, I'm going to keep 30. I can take this keep 32 with 300 million power. Don't be a hero. You're going to get your ass kicked. Don't do it to yourself. But just choose. Or even in your own alliance. If there's any RDH in here, you can say, oh, okay. We'll say Soul Healer because he's got bad bubble discipline. I see his bubble dropping in server war more than I care to admit. But hopefully that gets better. I think it might be an alt though. If you have Soul Healer and you can train him up, he's got 17 million power. Might have somebody come for it, but if you train him up to 25 million, that he can ghost. Somebody's gonna come for him, and they're gonna think his bubble just fell, and he's a shitty player who doesn't have a high level, it's an easy hit for a couple of points and maybe another scores reward. And you can say, okay, I'm baiting with Soul Healer, but let's see where Get Some is. Get Some's just chilling. He doesn't let any marches leave his city. He doesn't let anybody join a rally. He makes sure to tell everyone he's ghosting. And just in case, even if he can't ghost, just say that you're ghosting so nobody joins the rallies. It makes it look like you're online. Keep your activity dead. Or try to keep the alliance activity to a minimum. Because if you're trying to bait with Soul Healer, if they don't see lines moving, they think the alliance is offline and there's just nobody coming in. So you're going to get to keep 30 to come in here. He's going to sit right here. He's going to attack Soul Healer. The whole time, Get Some's been sitting here waiting on him to port in. He sees it. He's watching Soul Healer. He sees the person poured in right here. As soon as they launch an attack on Soul Healer, if they sit there for a minute, you know they're ghosting. But as soon as they launch that attack, you're already right here. You just wait for that march to get one tile away from the keep, because you know that's a good 10 seconds, and you start marching. You already ghosted the rest of your marches. That way, when his march is almost back into his keep, you can go ahead and launch the attack. And what I like to do if somebody's returning a march, I'm sitting here like this. Or let me find an empty bubble drop keep. I'm sitting here like this, already ready for the attack. That way, when their march gets about right here, I can go ahead and launch my attack. Because if your march goes out and they're that close to you, and you can see their march returning, you can kind of eyeball how long their march is going to be before it gets back in the city. So if your march is headed towards it and you see half of their march has started to disappear back into the city, hit a quick march speed. Send your march down from 10 seconds to 3 seconds. That way, they only have 2 seconds to ghost. And if they don't know what they're doing, they're not going to be able to pull it off. Then you just pulled yourself an easy march. That's what I like to do. You ever attack from camp? No, actually. That is the only thing I haven't done yet, is attack from the camp. I don't know how to do that. I don't think I've tried. What is it? The same as occupying here? Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that. Do you click? Oh, you know what? I think I do. I think I do. Let me not send my full PvP march this time. That's right. It just clicked with me that that's what I got to do. Yeah, you can attack from downtown. So if you're good, I think another strategy for that, now that I know how to do that, if you know this guy's sitting right here, you could put a camp up here and then attack with that camp to hit this guy instead of from so far out. So you're not using as many march speeds to tag his ass. That's actually not a bad strategy. I didn't even know that. But no, I haven't done it. I'm sure it's just as successful, but I haven't done it. Probably a lot harder to pull off, too. That would be one of those situations to where you could put like a tile of one troop out, let them come attack that troop, and you've got a camp sitting somewhere over here. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Put the camp right next to him. That's not a bad idea at all. But for now, at least, I think that's it. Gotta get ready to go to dinner and whatnot. But try and do this again through server war weekend. I don't know if our alliance is doing much because the new throne rules and whatnot, but we'll see. We'll see. Auto is hard to keep out of server war, so yeah. See, they expect one troop camps. That makes sense. But either way, thanks for showing up, learning a little bit, keeping the chat flowing. Um, but I'm gonna get off here, get ready to go to dinner, rally some monsters, and get back on the game. So, y'all have a good one. We'll see you next time.